Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. As the country's appreciation for all things culinary has grown over the past decade, cooking shows on television have become both a catalyst and a mirror for food trends. One show in particular that has ran on Fox for over 10 years and now in its 18th season, reality competition-based, has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that food can become sexy, ominous, and dangerous for anyone who attempts modern home cooking, whether it be weeknight family staples or restaurant-style dishes. Tonight, the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget, honors this series the only way we know how, by reviewing it and all of its signature dishes, signature contestants, and its madcap signature devil of a chef. Tonight, the Thrift Store Rundown, on a very modest price, opens the doors and the gates of hell to Hell's Kitchen. I mean Hell's Kitchen.
Open Hell's Kitchen, please. Let's go.
Welcome to hell. I have a hellish Halloween special. You remember the Gordon Ramsay Makes It Easy cookbook video when I said I would love to get my hands on a Hell's Kitchen cookbook? Well, through Amazon we managed to do just that. It's courtesy of the Sunnyvale Public Library in Sunnyvale, California. Always support your local library for $9.99. Also through Amazon we managed to get our hands on the Hell's Kitchen Front Season 4 disc DVD set, Raw and Uncensored. This comes from Goodwill of Seattle, Washington. Always support your local Goodwill. This costs $3.70 for the item itself. Both items came for an additional $3.99 shipping, so the total for the cookbook is $13.98, and for the 4-disc DVD set, $7.69. We're going to begin with the Hell's Kitchen cookbook because that is the big ticket item for me and the first one that came to my home. The beginning of this cookbook doesn't really take you behind the scenes of Hell's Kitchen necessarily, but it does provide a really good overview of what goes on inside Hell's Kitchen, beginning with the signature dishes in the first episode, the various challenges that the contestants face as the season progresses, and they grow more and more complex. The crucial dinner services that happen almost every night, where the losing team has to eliminate somebody at the end of service. The two finalists will divide the restaurant in half and create their own themed restaurant and menu from that half, selecting previously eliminated contestants from past episodes to cook on their team. At the end, a winner is crowned and a life is changed forever. This cookbook also outlines the essential ingredients and equipment you need to make your cooking more accessible, more foolproof, more flavorful, and in this case, because it is Hell's Kitchen and it is Chef Gordon Ramsay, who by the way did not author this cookbook, there is no discernible credited author for the cookbook itself, more restaurant quality. There's also a lot of great tips and tricks scattered throughout the book, like learning about truffle oil, and how to do a siphonade, and how to tell if your fish was cooked properly, the kiss it and flip it thing. One really cool feature in here is the celebrity sightings. The VIPs spotted dining at Hell's Kitchen. Steven Tyler, Minnie Driver, Stan Lee, Wendy Williams, the cast of Glee, co-host at Entertainment Tonight, Kevin Fraser, Eric McCormack, Bob Guiney of The Bachelorette. You know we have an undivided affinity for The Bachelorette around here and the Bachelor franchise as a whole. There are two celebrity guests in Hell's Kitchen whose names are omitted from this section. One of them is Elizabeth Perkins, 3-time Emmy-nominated actress for Weeds. In Season 12, Episode 6, she was the VIP guest for the Red Team's chef's table. And for the Blue Team, well, just watch, because their special guest has a strong connection with me on Twitter.
You have another stunning, well-known actress. She's known for her role in TV series Charmed.
Charmed who? Sorry.
She's currently starring in the hit TV show Pretty Little Liars.
Woohoo!
Holly Marie Combs.
Yes! Ella!
It's about damn time. We have some hot chick in the kitchen. Oh, she's very hot. Smoking.
I couldn't agree more. That's my PLR mom right there. Love you, Holly. And which team won that dinner service?
The winning team tonight is the blue team.
Yes! Woohoo!
Anton, well done. Thank you.
Oh, bless you, Anton. You did it for Holly. You did it for Ella. Respect to all the Chan fans out there. You also did all the Piper Halliwell fans proud. We love you, Holly! God bless you, Anton. That's right. They won her over. And by the way, I, in some form, won her over on Twitter. And you wonder why Ella Montgomery is my favorite Pretty Little Liars mom, and if I have to watch Charmed in celebration of its 20th anniversary, why Piper Halliwell will be my favorite Halliwell sister? All in all, I love you, Holly Marie Coates! Now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to the meat of it, and in some cases, quite literally. I have watched many dinner services, and I have heard Chef Ramsay call out many orders by one name only for the various dishes that the customers have ordered. The chart listed here and the recipes are divided into appetizers, starters, entrees, side dishes, and desserts. In this cookbook, we're going to be highlighting 16 recipes, many of which are Hell's Kitchen standards with a couple of honorable mentions thrown in. Every recipe in this cookbook contains a photograph, which is a big advantage, by the way. So we begin with the king crab capellini with chili, lime, and green onion. Next, we have lobster spaghetti. We also have the pan-fried snapper with roasted beets and pink grapefruit dressing. Red snapper. Red's my favorite color, by the way. We have a Caesar salad with romaine hearts, pickled red onion, and parmesan croutons. Here is one of the more commonly produced dishes on Hell's Kitchen, risotto. Here we have a creamy asparagus risotto with lemon and mascarpone, or mascarpone. With a crucial tip here to ensure that your risotto is cooked right, because if it is not cooked to Chef Ramsay's stringent standards, either one team can be kicked out, or the entire restaurant could shut down in a matter of moments. Take for instance the season 12 premiere. No appetizers served whatsoever. The most disastrous dinner service in Hell's Kitchen's history. Another crucial dish to get right, scallops. We have the salad of scallops with truffle vinaigrette. If the scallops are overcooked or undercooked, you might hear this: "It's war!" And it will be sent back, and one team can be kicked out or the restaurant could shut down. The most crucial, complex dish to master in Hell's Kitchen is beef Wellington, with a blackberry sauce, with potatoes, and glazed baby carrots. This also has a tip right here on the bottom of the left page. That's after the photograph you see here on the top. That also has a tip for making sure that your Wellington is cooked right, because if it's not, it will get sent back. Here we have pan-seared sea bass with a potato leek puree, sauteed haricot roots, and caper red onion tomato relish. It's very yummy, and sea bass is another common fixture in Hell's Kitchen. On page 106, we have a herb oil-poached halibut with potato fennel puree, roasted tomatoes, and lemon fennel sauce. I said every recipe has a photograph. I did not actually say that every recipe has a photograph of the chefs and the food, but not in the same order. Here we have a John Dory, a UK-based fish than it is more of a US-based fish. If you can't find John Dory stateside, you can substitute tilapia. This is John Dory, and it's spelled Johndoory. I always thought it was spelled Jandoori. You're seeing the itinerations of the spelling, my iteration and their iteration, on the screen. Anyway, it comes with new potatoes, a carrot puree, artichokes, and fennel veloute, or velouté. Here is the roasted chicken breast with carbot sauce and maple dew. I mentioned this to my friend Zoe and she said, "Ick, no thanks. Chicken with maple." Yeah, that sounds kind of odd. But then again, Chef Ramsay is a devilish little oddball himself. How's this for odd? Grilled salmon with white bean, chorizo, and lobster wagyu, with the kiss it and flip it tip right here on the bottom, to ensure that your salmon is cooked perfectly. Here is one of 2 honorable mentions in the cookbook, Elsie's Turkey Tacos. Her signature dish from season 1 of Hell's Kitchen, which Chef Ramsay deemed disastrous from first impressions, but overall, not bad tasting. That's Elsie Ramos, mother of 6. We also have the pappardelle on page 148. This is a homemade pappardelle with wild mushrooms, poached egg, and shaved back truffles. Why is this an honorable mention? Because something similar to this was served in season 4 of Hell's Kitchen, and we'll get to the DVD a little later on. It was invented by Christina, I believe, and screwed up royally by Matt. On page 171, we have the rainbow-colored carrots with butter and parsley. You might have seen that a few times on Hell's Kitchen. And the only dessert worth mentioning here, out of several that are definitely worth mentioning, but one that you see on Hell's Kitchen is the creme brulee. They serve chocolate souffle at Hell's Kitchen, but there's no chocolate souffle in the cookbook, so I gotta take points away for that. The cookbook closes with a variety of creative menus based upon the different dinner services you saw on Hell's Kitchen. Welcoming home a hero, stylish versions of everyday dishes, Hell's Kitchen crafts, with different descriptions for each menu. A golden wedding anniversary, black tie charity night for the 100 and 200 dinner services. I wonder why they didn't do it for the 10th anniversary on television. Date night, which is a Thrift Store Rundown standard. A Hell's Kitchen classic, that is a collection of their most classic, commonly produced dishes on the show. Eclectic ethnic, classic French, modern South. Quinceanera, that is a Latin 15th birthday party, by the way. Vegetarian menu, a light summer supper, an Asian fusion menu. A surf and turf menu, seafood and meat. Italian-inspired. A festival of truffles, truffles being the star ingredient of every recipe in this menu. The catch of the day, all things seafood. Cold weather comfort food. Just desserts. It's all desserts and it's all out indulgent. A meat lovers menu. That's for us carnivores, right? On the simple side, it's an easy to put together menu perfect for weeknight fine dining. Loosely Latin. It's a Latin-based menu, from tequila mussels to chicken mole to chocolate empanadas. There's a lot of variety in this cookbook. A pasta party. It's all pasta, with the exception of dessert. And an elegant dinner party. An epicure's delight. This cookbook is absolutely one of a kind. If you're a Michelin star chef or dreaming of becoming one, boy oh boy will you love this cookbook. I do have one gripe with it. I wish that in the future, if they would release another cookbook, that they would divide the recipes into seasons, into signature dishes, and challenge-winning dishes. For example, Jen's Little Bit of Italy, Little Bit of France pizza from the Pizza Challenge in Season 4, which won the girls a trip to Square One in Santa Barbara to taste the $90 hamburger. Or how about Jen's challenge-winning ribeye, which earned her a trip to Las Vegas to speak with the previous season's winner, Wack, who owned Terra Verde at the Green Valley Ranch Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. It was a sliced and stuffed ribeye. It was a very daring and creative dish. I know Jen, she may be one of the most cocky, but at the end she's one of the most creative and intelligent contestants I've ever saw on that season of Hell's Kitchen. And I put major emphasis on Season 4 because that was the first season I ever watched. And it's my favorite season. And I can think of no better segue to introduce to you Season 4, Raw and Uncensored, on DVD. This is a 4-disc set manufactured in Canada, by the way, from Visual Entertainment. Michelin-starred chef Gordon Ramsay is back to raise hell in the 4th season of Fox's hit TV series that has become a guilty pleasure of gastronomic proportions across the globe. Liberal sprinklings of real-life drama, high emotion, and culinary inspiration are dished out in every episode, as world-renowned epicurean Ramsay attempts to instill his passion for gourmet food, exemplify his notorious high standards in the kitchen, and bestow his stringent cooking techniques to a fresh batch of aspiring chefs. This season sees a badly burned contestant end up in the emergency room, that would be Vanessa, who chose to leave Hell's Kitchen because of her injury, while another's fingertip is sliced off, that would be Matt. He is one of the most controversially angry contestants I've seen on Hell's Kitchen, but he also was creative and determined and became a Black Jacket finalist, along with Jen. And Los Angeles' hottest chefs and top food critics advise and assess the 15 hopefuls as they vie for the chance to win their dream prize of a senior sous chef position at Ramsay's latest hotspot, the new London West Hollywood. This DVD release is presented raw and uncut, with all of Gordon Ramsay's legendary expletives and the swearing left uncensored, although some dialogue is actually omitted from this, which is different from the television broadcast. It's from ITV Studios Home Entertainment and Fox and Visual Entertainment from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is a 4-disc set, and brief summaries of each of the episodes are included inside the case. Disc 1, Disc 2, flip it over, Disc 3, and Disc 4. I do have some gripes with this as well. No closed captioning, no subtitles, and no scene selection. Although you can skip to certain scenes in each episode, you just don't know which scene you're going to skip to. Let's throw some superlatives towards the Season 4 contestants, shall we? My least favorite and most annoying contestants would have to be Jason and Sharon, tied. Sharon doesn't know how to cook, and to quote Chef Ramsay upon eliminating her, she showed great attention to detail, but not for her cooking, for her makeup. Jason, being semi-sexist will not get you anywhere, bro. Especially not in Hell's Kitchen. My favorite contestants, a tie between the two finalists, Petrosa and Christina. Petrosa's incredible graciousness and superior cooking of meat earned him my respect and Chef Ramsay's respect. As for Christina, she had the least amount of experience coming into Hell's Kitchen, but she wanted to be both a leader and a learner. And those she were. She ended up winning Season 4 and the executive chef position at the London West Hollywood, not to mention the $250,000. And in terms of the most superficial superlative, cutest contestant, well, that definitely goes to Christina. If you want a tasty side of sex appeal, this season definitely delivers on that end. Running time for this is 11 hours. I love this. This is Season 4 raw and uncensored, and it certainly is. Oh, excuse me. It's raw and uncensored. I award both the Hell's Kitchen Cookbook and the Season 4 4-disc set 4 out of 5 claps, which means out of a final score of 10, this gets an 8. Yes, dining with the devil has never been less expensive and more tasty in my opinion, and believe you me, with this devilishly handsome combination, I am savoring every moment and every bite. The Thrift Store Rundown, Bleeding Hollywood Home on a Budget, wishes all of you a deliciously, devilishly delightful Halloween. Thanks for watching, and piss off, will ya? Fire.